Ah, yes, one of the two types of V's I love to put my fingers on. The first one's between your mom's legs. The second one is this stunning Epiphone Flying V that I picked up from my friend Brad over at Hopp Frogg Music in Dallas, Georgia. Local small business, great friend of mine. Make sure you check his stuff out. I'll leave a link down there in the description if you want to help support a local small business, especially if you're local to the area. Go check him out. So this one right here is a really nice guitar. This is, again, not a sponsored video or anything like that. Just shouting out a local small business. Brad knows his stuff. And I know this firsthand because I've taken a lot of stuff to him to set up and fix, and he's done a great job on them. This one right here did not need anything but to be slightly tuned when I bought it. It just plays fantastic. It really, really does. It plays a lot better than the majority of the Flying V's that I've ever played in my life, including Gibson's. In fact, this is only the second actual Flying V that I've owned. I've owned some Jackson stuff. I've owned a Kramer Flying V thing, the Night V or whatever it is. I'm not gonna count those, okay? Because those are kind of a different league. I'm talking about Gibson or Epiphone Flying Vs. I've owned one other Flying V, and it was a Gibson. It was the satin faded cherry red one. I made a video on it. If you want to check it out, you can feel free to do that. Cool guitar, but as time went on, I started to realize there was something about it I didn't really care for. And it's not what you would think where it's like, oh, it's the V shape. People kind of go through phases with all of that stuff. I kind of do the same thing. I kind of go through phases with the more extreme shapes, the Vs, the Explorers. I have an RD that I really, really like. I've said that. I love that shape. I might fall out of love with it in 3 months. I don't know. I go through phases. This one right here just plays better than that Gibson. It really, really does. And I think it has to do, with the build quality of this one versus that Gibson, because it was even brand new. I think those were a little bit more on the affordable side of Gibson, and everybody kind of knows that the affordable Gibsons can be hit or miss. And second off, the setup obviously did a great job on that. Now I did set up that Gibson V myself, and I do know how to set up guitars. Just throwing that out there. I did set that up, and I could not get the action down super low because it had some high frets. And generally speaking, with high frets, that's kind of a deal breaker for me unless I really, really, really like the guitar, because it's expensive to get fret jobs done. Especially nowadays when you have stainless steel frets and it just chews through tools, right? It's like you really have to commit and really like the guitar to get fret jobs done when things start to get stainless steel frets. Not saying this one has stainless steel frets, not saying that the Gibson had stainless steel frets. I don't want it to confuse anybody. I don't want anybody jumping in my comments. If you already did before you got to this point, you look like a fool. This one has no high frets. This one has super low action. It just plays itself. The neck on it is a fantastic shape. I don't really know if it's like the official 60 slim taper neck, but what I noticed that it doesn't have, and maybe some people know what I'm talking about here, on the neck, it doesn't have those weird shoulders up at the top and the bottom. Where it's like the neck almost goes like this, has a little ledge, then curves, and then kind of goes down to the bottom, and then has like it's almost like a D shape, I guess is what that would be. I don't know. I've never really felt that shape on anything other than Epiphones. Put it that way. This one right here doesn't have that. It's slightly chunky. It's not super duper thin. The neck is a little wide, but I tend to prefer bigger necks, okay? So chunkier necks, little bit wider, those are pretty comfortable for me. And this one just has all of that, and it just sits in that perfect sweet spot. It really, really does. This one's got the aesthetics that I like. So like the Kluson style Epiphone Deluxe tuners. I like that. Not that aesthetics are the most important thing in the world, but they do help you pick up the guitar more and play it. It's got the raised Epiphone logo, which I really like that. It just looks really cool and premium, I guess. It's got a really nice dark rosewood fingerboard on it. Again, the frets are really, really good shape. I don't know if Brad leveled the frets or anything like that, but if he did a beautiful job. You know, standard Flying V, it really is. It's like the tuxedo look down here on the body, not the most exciting color on there or anything like that. You know, black with the white pick guard and black plastics and the chrome or nickel silver covers and bridge or whatever. But I mean, you know, it looks really classy. And again, this thing sits very, very comfortably. To me, thanks to the addition of the little rubber grip built into it. Now, I believe back in the time before that was a standard thing on a lot of these, people just took like a piece of rubber and set it on this point right here. I think there might have even been older guitars in the 80s and stuff that had this. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a product of that time, but I really like the addition of that because when you're playing the guitar like this in the classical position, like the majority of people do with Flying Vs, it doesn't slide around as much on the leg that it's kind of leaning against. Right? So you can kind of keep everything steady, especially if you're wearing a strap, it'll kind of hold it in place a little bit more. Or if you're a monster and you play your Flying V like this, it doesn't really slide around all that much, but then again, I don't understand how people play Vs like this. To me, that is like the most cursed thing I've ever seen, is when people just prop a Flying V on their leg and just start playing. And I'm like, man, there's no support. The grip does help. I mean, even this, like I'm having to like really slide it on my leg to get it to move. So the grip does help if you are one of those particular type of people. Man, they're just great. They really, really are. And again, if you can find one at a local guitar shop, again, maybe like Hopp Frogg Music in Dallas, Georgia, you know that they're going to be great either way because the person running that store knows what they're doing. They can set up the guitar and just have it ready to go. See, like I'm just noodling on it because it's really fun to play. It really is. And it just plays great. I'm not even using a pick. I'm just kind of, you know, Jared James Nickling it with the Nickelzing. You know what I'm talking about? Just using my fingers here. Got to get the face on there. Big fan of the dude. Anyway, so there is my Epiphone Flying V. Highly recommend picking up an Epiphone Flying V. I've actually thought about putting some stickers on this because I'll go ahead and shout this out too. I bought this guitar after I went to an emo night that they were hosting at Hopp Frogg Music, and we saw this band right here, Sorrow to Seven. Great, great band. They're a 2000s pop punk tribute band. So they played all the hits for all the elder millennials and elder emos out there to go out there and jump around to, and then consecutively pop some Tylenol because our backs hurt constantly. But no, seriously, pick yourself up a Flying V, specifically an Epiphone Flying V. These things are really affordable on the used market. They're really good build quality, and they just rock, man. They really, really do. So thank you for checking out this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check links in the description. Check out Hopp Frogg's website if you'd like to do that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.